everyone, it's Sharana from Pay Your Weight, and today I'm going to be reviewing Good Girls Season 3, Episode 1, Find Your Beach. And before I get into this, I want to dedicate this review to Culturally Unfit, okay? Because when I say that, like, it was on my neck about watching Good Girls, and I was like, okay, I'm going to get to this when I have time, but I wanted to make sure that I am taking recommendations from my followers, because I give you guys so many recommendations. So it's only right that I take your recommendations when you tell me about a good TV show. So I've spent the last month binging Good Girls Season 1 and Season 2, and I have to say, I was like, oh my goodness, why didn't I listen sooner? Because this show was so good. So I was so happy to make sure that I was on top of it, that I went ahead and watched the Season 3 premiere. I'm so excited to share my thoughts with you guys. So I just, Culturally Unfit, this video would not be possible without you being on my neck. But I'm happy to just get the movement in my neck back better. But let's talk about this Season 3 premiere. So I was really concerned at the end of Season 2, which I actually just finished today. And I was just like, they did not make me spend 2 seasons falling in love with RIO fine behind. And I know that he's not a good person, but he's just so fine. I was just like, oh, can I just be your baby mama? Just be something. And I was like, you did not make me fall in love with him for 2 seasons for me to now be afraid that he is dead. But at least in the season premiere, they decided they were going to answer the questions for us. They were not going to hold out on us. And so I'm excited to talk about where we are with these ladies. So they just barely escaped going to jail. Beth was ready to risk it all, to take the blame for everyone, to take basically, to take the blame for her actions and how she led everyone down this illegal criminal road, okay? So at the beginning of the season premiere, we see that the 3 ladies, they're adjusting back into regular life. Beth is working at some like decor car event space with her new boss, Lucy. And then we see that Ruby is actually working at a nail salon. It looks like she's working at a nail salon more than she hated working at the donut shop. But then we also see that Annie is actually working valet. I was like, ma'am, are you supposed to be charging them that? Because it feels like you were pocketing that money, and I don't think you were supposed to be doing that. It seems that it was like a complimentary valet situation, and you were just pocketing the cash for yourselves. But you know what, girl? Everybody got to make some money some way, somehow. So you know what? I ain't even mad at you. So we see that even though the women are working regular jobs, they didn't learn no lessons from the first season. They didn't learn no lessons from the second season after they almost lost their lives, lost watching over their children. So now they still trying to figure out how they going to clean this money. So we saw at the end of Season 2, we saw that Beth actually ended up finding all of his money that he had in the storage units. And so she is determined to figure out how she can do this on her own, because in her mind, RIO is dead. Okay, she took care of that, and she has to figure out how to make a way out of no way. So we see that they're basically working with JT from the loan shop. Ruby had her own little encounters with him, and so basically he's helping them test to see if the money that they're making, whether it's good or not. And so at first I was like, sir, why are you licking it? He was licking the money. He was scratching his neck with the money. I was like, sir, you know that much about money that you could just feel it. You could just taste it and know if the money is good or not. So he basically said, ma'am, your money is whack. This money is not good. You guys have a lot more to do. And so the women, they're really going through tough times. Beth is trying to figure out how they're going to be able to pay their mortgage. They're behind on their mortgage payments. She pretty much feels like she's going to end up losing the house. And Annie stayed broke. Ruby stayed broke. Ain't nobody got no money. So they have to make this work. But they've been spending literally weeks trying to figure out the right way to clean this money. So her husband is basically selling hot tubs. And then we see that Agent Turner, I thought that he was going to be gone for Season 3 because, they told them hey, we didn't like how you handled the last case, so we're going to send you somewhere else. But we see that Agent Turner, he has been getting rid of some bad guys. But little does Beth, Annie, and Ruby know is that he's actually teamed up with RIO, and he's been basically snitching. Like, snitches get stitches. I was like, Rio, not you, boo. You not no snitch. Like, we out here snitching on people and stuff. So I guess in terms of their deal is he's going to make sure that he's okay. And in exchange, she's going to give them the names of people in his operation. And basically, it makes Agent Turner look good because basically he's cleaning up the crime. He's getting all the bad people, all the criminals off of the street. But in the meantime, we see that there is a new addition to the cast. So I was like, oh my goodness, that's my girl from Orange is the New Black. And then I was like, wait a minute. She not Rio mama. She not Rio baby mama, is she? Because that looked like her son. That looked like his son, but I wasn't sure. And so we see that Beth and I believe, what is her name? I think her name is Ray. So we see them having a conversation at the park. And so essentially they kind of become close friends. And Ray's told her how her son's dad disappeared out of his life. And so she feels guilty for killing Rio. And so she's basically forging this friendship with her. I guess is her penance to help her make her feel better about the poor decisions she made killing my baby daddy. She shot him. Well, she didn't kill him, but she thinks that she killed him. And so we see that this is really weighing on her conscience. And so she forges this friendship. She's been helping her out, giving him like cleats and soccer uniforms, all type of stuff. I just like, man, why are you doing all of this? And then I was like, do y'all think that Ray knows? Because I feel like Ray knows something. Like, she know what her baby daddy was up to. I just don't understand. Maybe that's just me. But I feel like it would be a good little twist if we could find out that Ray was keeping tabs on the women until Rio resurfaced. Because she was like, I'm not worried about him. Like, he always disappears for a period of time and then he pops back up. This is like normal behavior from him. So that's how I'm feeling. You guys let me know if you're feeling the same way. But in the meantime, we see that Stan has a very unusual job. So Stan got off from the charges that Agent Turner placed against him, tampering with evidence. But we know that Stan wasn't able to go back to his old job. And so now he has a very interesting job. Him and Ruby, they was having a nice little dinner. She brought lunch for her man. I said, you better go bring some lunch for your husband. And then I see this naked girl. I was like, ma'am, you don't see they having a romantic lunch right now? Like, you ain't gonna put no clothes on? You don't feel like you should put a bra on at least? Like, you just up here, just titties all out? I don't understand what is happening, what is going on. And so we see that, I don't know if Stan he's working at a hotel, because I think it said the court. He's working at a hotel where I guess there's prostitution happening. And so it's pretty interesting because when they come home, they basically tell the kids that he's guarding the mayor. So the kids think that he has this super high level detailed job guarding the mayor until one of the girls comes in, Diane. She comes in with a gift for him, a gift basket, because we saw that Stan came home. He had like stuff on his eyes. They was like, Daddy, what's wrong? He was like, I was just helping the mayor out. And I was like, y'all really gonna just sit up here and lie to these kids talking about you watching the mayor? But you know what? Go ahead and do what you guys do. But then she brings a gift basket and she was like, this is for Stan for helping me in the champagne room. And they was like, what's the champagne room? And I was like, yeah, Ruby, what's the champagne room? Go ahead and tell your kids what the champagne room really is. Then it made me think of like the no sex in the champagne room. You remember that Chris Rock song? Like, I know it's supposed to be a joke, but this song did go hard. It slapped. But then we see that Ruby's daughter is having issues taking her medication. She said it's making her sick. And so she kind of spits back up the pill. And then Diane's like, girl, let me teach you about your gag reflexes. Girl, this is all you got to do. And then pretty soon, once you master that, you could fit anything into your mouth. And I was like, Diane, wait a minute. You're not supposed to be teaching these kids about all of that. I know that the daughter felt like she was teaching her about pills, but when she was like, you could fit anything in your mouth after a while, I said, Diane, these kids, they're too young to know about these things. I was just shook. Ruby was shook. The little girl, she didn't know what was happening. I was just like, Diane, I understand that your heart was in the right place, but it just, this wasn't it. But we see that Ruby is still going through hard times because they're having a hard time with their insurance, not covering the medication for their daughter. They're finding a hard time in trying to pay for things. And then they find out after she had enough about Diana, her gag reflex discussion with her daughter, that she calls Gwen. Gwen was up here just trying to enjoy her time. She was trying to have an admiral feast. I was like, you know what, Gwen? I ain't mad at you. I do the ultimate feast when I go to Red Lobster too, girl, with my Cheddar Bay biscuits. But Gwen going through through a tough time. She was like, girl, they shutting down our program. They moving overseas. And then Ruby was like, girl, I can't travel over there. And so I was just like Gwen had her time. She got to move back into the house. Her grandma then took over her room. She living in the house with all these people. She going through tough times too. And so Ruby is just trying to figure out how in the heck is she going to make a way out of no way. And even Stan, being a loving husband that he is, trying to say, baby, my rib. He says, I will quit the job if you want me to. But she knows, like, no, you can't do that. But she basically says, like, don't quit your job. But I was just like, Ruby, you really gonna risk your marriage like this? Like, Stan, he was riding for you. Even after he got mad at you, he rode for you, was telling you how to rob banks and stuff in season 2. Went to jail for you, boo. Tampered with evidence for you, boo. And we gonna go back to this counterfeiting money thing? I was just like, Ruby, say it ain't so. You're not gonna do my man Stan like this. Like, you are better than this. I don't understand why she wants to risk her marriage, but I feel like this is going to have to come to a head when Stan finds out what they're attempting to do, because I was just like, you need to let it go. You need to just walk away. I know y'all on hard times, but y'all are making a way out of no way. I just really am scared because it's probably one of the most beautiful representations of Black love, a Black married couple on like regular television. I was just like, I don't want you to ruin that for me, Ruby. But we're gonna say a prayer for them because they are God-fearing people, okay? So we're gonna say a prayer for them that she don't mess this up with her husband. But I will have to side with Stan because he did more than enough to like help with all the criminal things that you have done. And he just asked you to just stop. We made it out last season. We don't want to go back this season. So I'm just gonna say a prayer for them. Annie behind, she's still, Lord, we're going to pray for her too, because this random dude pops up at her door talking about, hey, what's up? And she was like, I'm sorry, do I know you? He was like, yeah, remember you ran into me on the highway and then, you got in my car. I was like, girl, I mean, I know you're not trying to get no ticket, but this is what we doing to get out the tickets. And then he was like, and you said like, I can stop by. And she was like, sir, we ran out of the statute of limitations for booty calls. And even her son was looking like, what is happening right now? Like, who is this man? She even asked him, her son even asked her, like, who is he? Like, what is going on? And she was just like, look, he was like, is this another Noah? And she was like, no, I'm done with dating. I'm done with all of this. And then her son was like, I'm happy because, anybody that come up to you trying to show you that they care in the least bit, way, or shape, or form, you're just ready to go. And I was like, ooh, the way that your son just read you low-key deserve that. But the fact that your son knows that that's how you are, baby girl, we got to make a change in season 3. You are better than this. Know your worth, boo. You are better than all of this. So we're going to pray for Annie as well because her son read her for filth. And I was just like, you know what? I was sitting there giggling because I was here for every single shitty thing that her son had to say to her. But back to Beth. So Beth comes up with this idea because obviously they're not doing a good job of cleaning money because Beth always thinks that I can do this by myself. I don't need RIO. We got rid of him. We can do better by ourselves. I'm a boss B. I said, whatever, Beth, because Beth be getting on my nerves. But we see that they basically asked the design chick, Lucy, to help them make this money. They tell Lucy some crazy story about how this is for like a gambler addicts charity, and she was just like, that could be really like criminal, like I just don't think that's a good idea. And they were like, oh my goodness, like I didn't even think of that. And I was just like, y'all not about to con Lucy into doing this. But of course, she ends up agreeing to it. And then they take the new batch that they created. I mean, they got little press machines, like Ruby up here doing airbrushes, Annie making shakes. I don't know what the heck that got to do with the money, but it got something to do with the money. So I was like, they got like a whole nice little operation. I said, I see y'all investing in yourselves, investing into everything that you have going on. I was like, this is impressive right here, but I'm still not for it. But we see that they take the money to JT, and JT was like, you know what, y'all got something good here. And he was like, I'm going to keep this one. I was like, I don't know if y'all would necessarily want JT to keep that because that's evidence against you guys. But you know what? You do what you do, boo, okay? I don't agree with it, but fine by me. But the women are bringing over the money to Beth, and then they see this girl, Ray. And they're like, oh, okay, hi, Ray. Like, we don't know you, but hey, girl. Then they see Rio son walk by, and they're like, hold up, wait a minute. Man, what are you doing? Like, this is not no charity case. Like, this is not okay. You killed her baby daddy. I understand, but like, this is not a good idea. Like, what are you doing? And Beth is like, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Then Ray ends up giving Beth the money for her mortgage because she finds out that she was behind, and she was like, you know, my baby daddy, he took care of us. We got money set aside. I can loan you the money and then you could pay me back. And I was like, Beth, this ain't no good idea. But Beth was like, I gotta make sure I got a roof over my kids' heads. So I said, you know what, Beth, I feel you. You gotta do what you gotta do for the kids. And so then we see that Agent Turner pops up just when she thinks things is going right. They got their money right. They about to be back in business. Agent Turner shows up like, hey cutie, hey big head. But she was just looking like, what are you doing here? He's like, look, I want to look for a thinking of you card. And I was just like, you just so disrespectful. But I was here for it. But then he ends up telling her like, hey, you're good. But Beth was paranoid and I was paranoid too. And then Beth told them to burn the money and it just hurt my soul. I was like, think of all that money that it could pay for your mortgage, could pay for your pills, could pay for you to just keep messing up, Annie, because I don't know what you got going on. It's good right now. But it just really hurt my soul. It really hurt my soul. But I know in my heart of hearts that was probably the best decision that they could have made. So she ends up telling her husband what happened. And then she's like, I got it from a friend. He was like, hold up, what type of friend are you talking about? He was like, I'm sorry, I'm just triggered. And I was like, you know what? You've been through a lot too with Beth. So everything seems to be fine and dandy until we see my baby daddy is alive, you guys. RIO is alive. Agent Turner, he was sitting up there going to the hotel. And then we see that my baby daddy been snitching. Like I said, snitches still get stitches, but you can still get it at the same time. But we see that he he hands him the last name. And so while we see him going to do like one of his busts, he realizes there's nothing there, that basically RIO set him up. And so we see RIO's checking out of the hotel. He got his little gold status and stuff from being in the hotel that long. And I was like, Lord, he finna come for Beth. Like, he did not forget. He is coming for you. But before he came for Beth, he made sure he came back for Agent Turner. A little van pull up, a little drive-by. They shoot all the agents. Agent Turner, he shot. I don't know if he dead, but I saw the bullets. I mean, I didn't see no bullets, but I saw the blood, and I saw the blood spilling out of him. So I'm assuming he dead, but we thought RIO was dead at the end of season 2, but he alive. So I don't know if Agent Turner is alive or not, but I find it very interesting. At the end, we see when RIO walks out, we see the billboard when Turner was asking him what he was going to do after this. He was talking about chilling on a beach, and the title of the episode is Find Your Beach. He found his beach through that billboard, but he said, I'm coming for you, Beth. He didn't say that, but I'm assuming that's what he's going to go do. I still think that Ray has something to do with this. Like, ain't no way that you didn't know what your baby daddy was up to. Ain't no way that he didn't tell you about a contingency plan if he just disappeared for a period of time. So I don't know what the heck is going to happen. But I am scared for these ladies. I am scared for them. They are not ready. I don't know what he is going to have in store for Beth because she shot him. She was like, I'm sick of you. You the problem. I'm sick of you. That was probably like a little, no, I say she was extra just like I was extra just now. But I think that was a very good season 3 premiere because my baby daddy is alive and that's all that matters. And he's coming back for revenge. So I can't wait to see what happens. But those are pretty much my quick thoughts on the season 3 premiere of Good Girls, Find Your Beach. As always, my name is Sharona from Para Waits. And if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit that notification bell. And I love you guys 3000. I'll see you soon.